TWB Podcast Hotline.
Well, a few more questions here, Adam, before we let you go.
Sure.
First, I wanted to ask you about Colt Cabana's retirement match last year in Chicago Ridge. I had the pleasure of being there in the audience for that live. That's the only ROH show I've ever been to, and it was just an amazing moment. How much did you enjoy working with Colt in his final ROH match?
It was beautiful. I've known Cabana since the very first day he set foot in a wrestling ring. And just to see him progress, his goal always was to be on TV and to work for WWE. And when he got that opportunity, I think I was one of the first people he told. I'm just proud of him, man. I mean, we went to rival high schools. I've known him so long that when it was time for him to go, and Ring of Honor has always had the tradition of letting you kind of go out how you want, for him to pick a match with me, when at the time, you know, I think probably for the last 18 months or so, I've just kind of been a mid-card heel fall guy in Ring of Honor, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I wasn't the ideal choice for Cabana's last match to the fans' eyes because of that, but it meant a lot to me, and it was definitely fun. And I said, well, you know, Cabana, let's what do you want to do? I mean, this is your moment. You know, how do you want to come off? And he wanted to do some ha-ha and some funny, so we did a little bit of that, and it was fun, man. It was fun, and it was emotional after the fact, after the show and whatnot, but I wish they would do something with him instead of letting him rot in Florida. It's just it's frustrating, especially when I talk to him, and I'm like, anything new? And he just kind of, no, nothing new, and it's a shame. It's a shame considering some of the guys that are on TV now. For him not to be on television right now is pretty much a crock, but he'll persevere. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's actually been very surprising because, I mean, he's so experienced. Everybody thought that he would be up to TV pretty soon, you know. It's been kind of disappointing for, you know, real wrestling fans, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, about Cabana. You know, he didn't go in with any preconceived notions of having a time frame that he thought he'd be on TV. And don't get me wrong, I guess there have been talks of doing this or doing that, but they just haven't come to fruition. So he's kind of in that waiting mode and doing what he's told, and thankfully, and a lot of, I think fans lose sight that he's making a respectable paycheck doing professional wrestling. And if he doesn't become famous, that doesn't mean that this was a failure, and he doesn't look at it as such. I mean, there are very few of us in the country who have the opportunity to wrestle as a profession and pay our mortgages and live just based off of wrestling. So for him to be able to do that, you know, he's one of the select few, and I think biding his time and just being as patient as he is, it's going to pay off in the long run because he's got the right people pulling for him, and talent always shines through, especially when you have as much charisma as Cabana does. That's bound. It's absolutely bound to get him where he's wanting to go. Before OVW shut down, they had their TV belt and their tag belt on him. So, you know, the cream always rises to the top.
Well, that's right. But besides Colt, Adam, who are some of your favorite guys to work with in the ring?
Oh, geez. You know, Homicide. Homicide was always easy and always fun, and there was always good chemistry. Ace Steel, who needs to get off his ass and get off his couch and come back to Ring of Honor. Who else? I mean, there's so many guys. Bryan Danielson, and you know what? I think the only match I've had with Bryan in ROH was kind of like a 2-minute deal when he was coming back from his injury. But I've wrestled a couple times on NWA shows and other shows outside, and again, easy. Sean Waltman, also awesome. Who else? Brent Albright. I don't know how I could leave him out. Brent Albright, one of my favorite guys to work with. And Damian Wayne out of Virginia. Love working with him, too. We're kind of cut from the same cloth. And then, of course, there's Cabana and CM Punk.